Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. Well, first thing I'm seeing right now is that the treasuries look like they're on a bit of a downturn. But, I don't know, it might not be as bad as I think. My headphones. I think it's okay. I think it's my ear. My ear is a little bit plugged up. I think I'm getting some allergies. All right, let's look at the chart. Okay, so here you can see the treasuries after that consumer sentiment. I really feel off lately because there's been so many pieces of news that have like really surprised me in terms of the degree to which they move. But apparently that consumer sentiment was way worse than I realized. It was like record low disappointment. So the treasuries really shot up hard on that. But here in the overnight action, they are giving it up. So here's the S&P 500. Didn't really move too much yesterday. Oil on the downturn. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Gold and silver, man, whew. The rally in gold in particular is really starting to look like, oh my gosh. And silver at $32, that's pretty good looking too. Okay, Kappa is up as well. So China, you know, putting the pump in, they continue to move up there in copper. Then we got the 6J a little up and back, still where they were, but the dollar dropping below 100 briefly overnight. And then we got Bitcoin going sideways. So I think you'll probably see when you come to a really round number like that, people tend to pay attention to it. So I think you're probably going to see a lot of people noticing that the dollar is below 100. ChatGPT advanced voice mode got released. Oh, too bad I don't have access to it anymore. Oh well. Well, so let's come over here and make sure we're connected to our news squawk and make a few notes here. Let's save yesterday's notes, make new ones. And Wednesday. Okay, so flows today we get new home sales. By the way, I don't know if this is going to show up in any of the reports, but I've been seeing some stuff that like when they cut interest rates 50 basis points, that like home loan originations like increased 15% or something like that, like instantly. So I think you're going to start to see some wild numbers over there. We got a 5-year auction today. And it's a Wednesday. Wednesdays tend to have more activity than other days of the week. Maybe in equities, you might see some money put to work in equities, so keep an eye on that, I guess. Okay, but that doesn't give us a whole lot to work with today, does it? Nor does it help me understand why the treasuries are selling. I'm kind of suspect, I guess, that it is the Chinese stimulus, though. Like, if you get China stimulus, and that will have a tendency to stimulate the entire world economy, then you're not going to ease as much in the United States. You're not going to pull interest rates back as much. And on top of that, China might sell the few treasuries that they have left to shore up their currency, buy back yuan. So I think that might be the flow, but I'm not really sure. I haven't really seen any kind of a confirmation like other experts suspecting the same thing. Kind of like that. Well, let's come over to Zero Hedge now. What do they got? Oh, I don't have any pinned stories this morning. That's interesting. Kamala spokesman refuses to answer question, are Americans better off than 4 years ago? Yeah, that's kind of the problem that the Harris campaign has. It's that some of us have had measurable negative impacts to our lives over the last 4 years, and we blame Democrats for it. Yeah. Kind of going to make it hard. All of the political dynamics, like how the country feels about things, working against the Democrats. It's really quite stunning that the race is as close as it is, because in any other situation, the Republicans would be running away with it. All right. Well, so nothing too interesting over there, though, huh? Raise the voting age to 21. Gen Z is not mature enough at age 18. Okay. What is with these idiots posting on r/advice animals with the wrong font? Huh? It should be an automatic downvote if they use the wrong font. I hate that. Times New Roman? Really? The Wild Treasury is a little bit on the upside here. And some delta on that upside too as well. So, this is something that we saw on, what was it, Monday? Where it kind of looked like it was on the downside overnight and the initial action kind of looked a little bit, downtrend. But then the volume ended up being long in the United States. It's like the extended session and the regular session are just dominated by completely different flows.
Block by.
This post is actually extra stupid. If elected, JD Vance plans to immediately use the 25th Amendment to have Trump removed, then we're all... No, that's not going to happen. Don't be silly. Oh, Reddit, why are you so dumb all the time? You upvote this tripe. Let's see here. Sept, do you have access to March 2025 contract of bonds on Jigsaw? And do you think the September contract of micro treasuries have more correlation to bonds than October's contracts? Okay, so this is an interesting question. So first of all, I don't think that I do have access to the March contract, but let's check. I did update, well, let's update instruments again here real quick. I don't think that I updated my CME instruments, so let's update instruments, CME, download. Now, would the micro... So, first of all, we don't have... Well, we have a micro treasury bond, but nobody really trades it, so can't really see over there. You have the 10-year yield, but that's a 10-year yield. So this is where things get kind of weird, because you would think that the 10-year yield should follow ZN the most closely. And it kind of follows ZB a little bit better, because the ZN is kind of like a 7-year, and this is more like a 10-year. And if you look at the yield curve, I'm just gonna draw a picture here. Yeah, I'm gonna just draw a picture. You look at the yield curve, you'll tend to see this kind of like this hump. And this hump is basically at the 10-year, right? And then here's the 7. So, like, it just so happens that the difference between a 10-year and a 7-year happens at just the right spot on the hump of the yield curve, that the difference between them is quite significant. And so, in many respects, this tends to correlate more with this than it does this. Okay. Now, when you're looking at a forward, like something further up. Okay, it's done downloading instruments. Let's see if I can pull one up. CB, I do not see past December. That's with Rhythmic. Wouldn't have anything to do with Jigsaw, it would be Rhythmic. Let's come to the CME website. Products. US Treasuries. Bond futures. Quotes. Mar 2025. Only 8 contracts. Wow. Okay, so what you're probably going to see with the March contract is they are going to follow the December contract with a probably a little bit higher. Yeah, it's a little bit higher, and that little bit higher accounts for the cost of like holding the treasury for 3 months. So as things get closer, you'll see these two come into line with each other, so that, you know, like what, there's 10 ticks you could make there. Sell this one, buy this one, close them both when this one rolls over. Should make a little bit of money. Tiny little amount. Big risk if something crazy happens, but it is a trade that people do. So yeah. I guess the question I would have is, why are you interested in March 2025 contracts? Because there's only 8 volume. You're pretty likely to just get screwed over if you try trading over there. I bet you that, I wonder if I pulled that up, the spread might be more than a few ticks. taking a little long for the gap fill? I don't know. It kind of looks like there was a little bit of a counter move, and now it's gone dead again. Dude, this is one I'm seeing here on Reddit. This is one that just wilds me out, where Joe Biden says, I never once spoke to the chairman of the Fed since I became president. No. Because the whole thing here is that Donald Trump is saying, well, we should have, the administration should have more say on interest rates than it does. And so then all these people are like, no, you shouldn't even talk to the Federal Reserve to try and influence them, yada, yada, yada. It's the whole argument is nonsense. Every president regularly talks to the president of the Federal Reserve. The president of the Federal Reserve will come to him and set the meetings up because they want to make sure that their interest rate policy synergizes with the administration's economic policy and the policy of the Treasury Department and so forth. And so the president actually has a very large degree of influence on what the Federal Reserve will do. Okay, they can have, I mean, the Federal Reserve is still independent. Like, they can still make the decision that they want. But, you know, if the president makes a reasonable request, they probably accommodate it. They probably accommodate it. And, like, what more say would you want on interest rates? Because the only further that you could go would be the ability to override their decisions, which would be insane. So, like, the whole argument is silly. Like, what does Donald Trump want to do on it? And I don't know. I think it comes back to this thing that, like, Donald Trump is paranoid that the Federal Reserve is trying to juice the markets before the election to help his opponent. And he's paranoid that they did things during his term to make it difficult for him. That's why he's saying that stuff. Black audio orders are not working in the new Jigsaw update. Make sure you send a message to support. By the way, did you try installing it side by side so you had both versions available to you, or did you install over top? China has become powerful before it is rich. By placing power above plenty too soon, Xi Jinping may have made a strategic blunder. You know, one of the interesting things about China is that for years and years, many people have said, you know, it's inevitable that China's going to collapse in some form. And it's inevitable that the people in China will eventually rise up. Like, eventually it's going to come to the point where they will just overthrow their government and whatnot. And I kind of feel like that what we've had in China for the last 4 years is like the best, most fertile ground for that you're ever going to get. Like, the real estate market in China finally crashed. That was the big thing that, you know, for like the last 10 years or so, people have been saying it's on the horizon. Eventually it's going to happen. And when it happens, it's just going to be cataclysmic. Well, it happened and life goes on. And China did not get overthrown. And Xi Jinping is still in power. So maybe that's not going to happen. On the same token, kind of looks to me like China's not going to be as powerful as people originally thought, because their population is already declining precipitously. And China has kind of found out that they double counted. They don't have as many people, or they're not going to have as many people in the future as they thought. So that's kind of a big shift too. kind of seems like that the world is not as concerned as it was about China ascendancy. Octavia says he did it over the top again. All right. I mean, they did do a new version, and I wanted, I think Peter made a good, he apologized for people having as many issues with the beta as they did. It's okay. It's a beta. I understand it's a beta. He said, please try it again so that we can, keep testing and everything. I think it's probably going to take a couple of iterations, though, to fix some of these problems. Especially like the issues with the Vista chart and scrolling and stuff. Like that might have something that's like has to do with people's machines and stuff. So, there's kind of those kinds of problems you have to deal with. Okay, well, 22.5 is back to our seller cost basis. So let's say that the market makers have kind of balanced things out. I don't know if they're going to continue through, and this is going to be another relatively large uptrend in the treasuries during the regular session like it was yesterday, or if they're going to bounce here and head back down. The flow in the 10-year doesn't look particularly strong. There is pretty strong flow coming through in the 5-year, though. 5-year and the 2-year. So are we getting steepening in the yield curve again? Maybe a little bit. But not too strong. Yeah. Change my view. Oh my gosh. How does this change my view thread have 824 comments? I guess I'm going to have to read this thread. Palestinian rocket attacks on Israel are stupid even as a terror tactic and achieve nothing and only harm Palestine. How are people going to argue against that one? Let's see here. Well, this first comment here is basically saying, and I summarize, I read it through very quickly. Seems to be saying that the rocket attacks serve two functions and neither of those functions are to be effective. One is for PR and one is to keep the conflict going. For those that want to keep the conflict going, then I guess, yeah, probably is effective, huh? I had the scrolling issue. Well, but how would you know that it's not your PC? Like it could be something as innocuous as which video card you have, right? Like, I'm not saying there's something wrong with your computer. I'm saying that your computer has certain settings that not everybody has, that their programming didn't count for. Because I had the issue on my PC. Well, you have a 7900 XTX, so I have an NVIDIA card. It's not bad on the AMD processor, though. I'm also kind of noticing on this little pullback that saw a pretty hard turn in the Japanese yen. Like it did over here. Wrong screen. It did a higher low. Come on. Well, it keeps changing my cursor, so I can't do it, but it did a higher low and then bounced up. So maybe the treasuries are just following the currencies. And then you come over here into the dollar, and the dollar kind of turned down pretty hard. Oh, no. Why is my dollar not working? I might have to restart NinjaTrader here because it looks like one of my charts is stuck. That's not cool. Yep. I'd go to start it and it's just still. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. So I'm gonna have to kill it. Sorry, NinjaTrader. You'll get over it. How am I using 50% memory? Jeez. Web browsing takes up a lot of memory sometimes. Multiple tabs and all that. Your setup costs $2,500. That's not bad. Wait, so is it the AM5 motherboard? I think that's an AM5 processor. I can't remember what it is. The 7 series is the AM5 one, right? Because I think that's what I have. No. What is it? If I can figure out how to get to it. This PC. Yeah, because I have a 7600, so it is the AM5. When I bought mine, though, those X3Ds weren't available, so I didn't feel like it was worth it to go up. But now maybe it is. Oh, by the way, I did get some comments on my YouTube Shorts yesterday, so I appreciate it. I will be making some videos today off of that. You only use 20% CPU when you play Modern Warfare 3 does not pass 50? Wow, that's interesting. Checking my email. So I got this issue now where I'm sending out tons of flooding the world with resumes, and I had a response from somebody yesterday that didn't go to my inbox. So I'm just like super paranoid that like I will miss an email or a message now. I have to go through but I get so much junk to my email. It's hard to keep up with. So then you get into this thing where it's like, okay, so like, are these all just going into a black hole and nobody looks at them? I actually think that they do get looked at, but probably not right away. And that's really frustrating because like, I need like a job now, right? Waiting days, not knowing if you get something, and you can start a process, or if you're stuck where you are, day after day is really... So this is a freaking nightmare, man. What I'm going through right now is an absolute... It's like your worst nightmare. It really is. Yeah, it's super stressful. So it's basically like, oh, by the way, that was your last paycheck. You know, and like some bills and everything had already gone through. So like, I think I barely have enough to pay the mortgage, and then that's like it right now. And then the state of Missouri only gives me $350 or something like that a week, and maximum up to 6. I shouldn't think about it. Shouldn't talk about it. I wish people would email me. The other thing was, like, yesterday, it took a while to get me going to be able to make content. I think I made some good progress on the script for my chair, but that one was, like, mostly already written anyways. Now I need to, like, discuss it with ChatGPT, right? I need to discuss it with ChatGPT now.
Block cell.
I got fired, yes. And no severance. Yeah. Don't tell me that, Namrus. I know. And I don't want to think about that. Withdrawing from my retirement accounts is like my worst nightmare. I would probably rather do almost anything else other than that. Wow, you got the same after 25 years at the company and they didn't give you a severance? Are you serious? That's insane. It was because of YouTube. You know what? I don't want to. I don't know if I should really get into it. I told Uzi so that we could see his reaction. He was like, "Yeah, that's kind of stupid." Like the reality is I think that they were trying to get rid of me, but. Interesting that Jigsaw announced the block trade there at 225, but NinjaTrader didn't record it as a trade over 500 contracts. Well, but NinjaTrader, like, are you talking about NinjaTrader's, what is it called? I don't even know what the thing has. Time and sales. The NinjaTrader time and sales doesn't reconstruct trades. I'll tell you, when we streamed on Wednesday, a notification with an employee's name popped up on the stream. And that was the excuse that they used. Well, they didn't say that when they didn't say anything when they let me go. But I kind of think that that's why. Oh, okay. You have Delta indicator set so that tracks orders over 500 contracts. So that's going to be when somebody else's indicator, not mine, huh? So I don't know. Since I have a question. Who from there is watching yours? I don't know. That's the really interesting question, right? Is somebody was watching and said something. Okay, well, I'm sure that whoever did it thought that it wasn't a big deal. They just thought, you need to, because here's the thing, I hide that stuff, right? But I was relying on Microsoft's do not disturb mode to prevent notifications from popping up during the stream. And because it was midday, I didn't have that turned on. So that's why they popped up. So I'm sure that whoever, said something was well-meaning and everything, but I got fired. Is a Ninja Trader Delta? I don't know. That is a little... Well, I didn't see... Oh, well, you're 500 contracts, so I guess it's not going to show up on any of my filters. That is interesting. I mean, there can be all of these different things. Like with the reconstructed tape, I think that the reconstructed tape looks at both the time and like the level 2 changes to determine that it happened. So like... But why wouldn't cumulative delta like go up by 500? That's I don't know. Unless there was like other orders coming back the other way almost immediately and you just didn't notice. Can you? What would I sue them for? I don't think that I would have a very good case. Missouri is an at-will employment state, so. I would say, so like, here's the thing. Of course, with at-will employment and everything, you can get fired at any time. And, you're not guaranteed a severance unless you have some sort of a contract with them, okay? But for a professional job that's pretty high paying, right? Losing your income can be really devastating to somebody, in those higher income jobs. So, and part of that is because it's really hard to replace that income. There's less of those jobs. It's going to take you longer to find a new job. So, generally speaking, the longer you've worked at the company and the higher level of a job it is, like the more severance that you give. So like if I had known, if I was reading through things like Glassdoor reviews and I saw, oh, they laid me off and didn't give me a severance, I wouldn't work for them because too big of a risk. And you can see why, right? So like I'm more upset about that than anything. Like not even 2 weeks. Like at least give them 2 weeks so that, they have the next paycheck instead of like immediately being in the hot seat. Oh, man. Don't know what that is. What do you mean? You don't know what severance is? Severance is like you're being fired, but we'll continue to pay you for the next 2 weeks. When I got let go from Goldman Sachs, they gave me like, I want to say 6 months, maybe 6 months, 9 months. But then in that case, I got another job like immediately. What you just said about your state. What did I say about my state? I didn't say anything about my state. Anyways. I was just thinking, because when I was filing for unemployment in Missouri, they wanted to know everywhere that I had worked since last April. So now I'm wondering, oh, if it goes all the way back, I might be able to get unemployment from Utah as well for the 6 months that from April 2023 to June. April, May, June, 3 months, maybe. I don't know. That in Missouri is an at-will employment state, which means that you can leave at any time and they can fire you at any time. So some states, like Illinois or states that are dominated by unions, there are certain processes that they have to go through in order to fire you, sort of a thing, right? But in an at-will employment state, you can just get fired whenever. Yeah. Which is most states. So very few states that actually have any kind of protection. And then they have all sorts of ways of, like, you know, they put you on a performance improvement plan, and then even though you didn't do anything wrong, and then you meet all of their requirements, and they still say that you didn't perform, which is basically what happened to me. Or they give you like requirements that are impossible to fill or are so vague that you can't fill them, right? And then they have an excuse. Then you know, if the state comes and says, oh, well, you didn't fire them for cause or whatever, they can say, yeah, we did. See, look, we went through the whole process. So you don't really have any recourse. So basically, all I can do, my wife can work, and because she was only part-time, she can go to full-time over there and make some money. It's not nearly enough, but you know, that helps. And then the unemployment, and you hope that you just have enough between all of that to, like, keep your power on, at least. Right? And then I guess the other thing you can do, and that I may have to do, is you can put your mortgage into forbearance. With mine, basically you get two options. One is you do the forbearance and you say, okay, forbearance for 90 days or whatever, 3 months, and you can end it early. But then at the end of the 3 months, all of the payments from that past 3 months is all due all at once. But then you can set up some deal with them where, like, you pay extra on the mortgage every month and make that up over time or something like that, right? So I don't have very good options. I will have to rely on friends and family to be able to keep the lights on for the next month. And I mean, if it goes longer than a month, if it takes longer than a month for me to replace my job, which, you know, it seems like it's going okay. I already have some things set up and everything, but it's not the economy that it was. It's not the economy that it was. So, you know, the possibility that it takes several months for me to find a new job is a real possibility. And if that happens, I'm so screwed. I don't know what the average salary in Europe is, but so yeah. I gotta be careful that I'm not telling you guys these things just to, like, vent. Because I don't feel like that's, like, necessarily super healthy for me. But I guess it kind of serves two purposes. One is, now if you've not experienced this before, you kind of know what happens and what your choices, what your options are, and how bad it can be. And two, you know that I'm in a hard spot and, you know, can help me. So some of you guys were commenting on my YouTube shorts yesterday. That helps. I appreciate it. Coding jobs are E500 a day? For 500 pounds a day? Wait, what would that be? $83. No, yeah, that's about what it is here. For a higher one. Losing your job is relatable. Maybe. Like, the thing is it's not the first time that I've lost a job, but it's the first time I've lost a job where I actually had things to lose, you know? Like, when I got let go from Goldman Sachs, they gave me 6 to 9 months of severance or whatever. And then what happened was, and they sent me to a little program to like where they brush up your resume and teach you everything about job searching and everything. So like being let go from Goldman Sachs is like one of the greatest things that can ever happen to you. Because I got hired for another job almost immediately. And then all of that money, I just got to save. And part of it went to getting married, and part of it went to getting this house. So like it was a really, really great thing for me, right? Problem this time is no severance. I worked there for a year, so I wouldn't expect to get a lot of severance. But again, like the place that I had worked before, I had worked there for like 6 years by that point, right? From 2016 until 2020, so 7 years, something like that. You know, if I was going to get laid off from there, I would have gotten a severance. And the thing is that they aggressively recruited me. Like, they pulled me over. And then I will tell you, okay? I will tell you because, like, these are the things that, like, you'll see and I've kind of learned are, like, not good signs, but you might ignore. And like, of course, even if you see the signs, like, this is the rough thing, is even if you see the signs, what can you do? I had already been putting resume and stuff like that out. I was leaving that company anyways. But then I think that they used the stream thing as an excuse to do it early. Again, they didn't say that when they fired me, but so like one of the things that you got to understand is that large corporations really don't hire for performance. I mean, they all say that they are. We all want to think that it's meritocracy and all of that. And, you know, they have reviews and everything. But we've all seen, anybody that's been through that process all sees that, like, you do the review thing every year and it doesn't change anything, right? You can never be set as like that you're achieving above expectations, because then they'd have to pay you more, right? A lot of it is connections. A lot of it is, does this guy like you, etc., right? So one of the things that happened to me was I got hired, you know, by one group and you know, one manager and everything. And I was working really heavily with him every day and doing a lot of stuff, and we did a lot of good work together. And I really liked him. And he really knew what he was doing. I mean, he had been basically, before he worked there, he worked for a newspaper, I think it was, and was basically like the chief technical officer of that. So like he knew how to do the management bit, right? And then, you know, halfway along the way, they decided, actually, we're going to absorb your team into another team. So your manager will now be somebody different, and all of these sorts of things, right? Big red flag. Huge red flag. Because what just happened there? You just got taken from the team that hired you, and you're being put on a different team that didn't hire you and doesn't already like you. You know, like if they hire you, they kind of naturally gonna like you. It's like, well, I hired that guy. I want to double make sure that they do well, right? You get pulled in from another team, man. I know it seems stupid, but I'm telling you, I've seen it that's the first time that I've experienced it, but I've seen it happen many times. When they start shifting your manager and your teams and stuff like that willy-nilly, it's be on your toes. Let's put it that way, right? Another thing that you gotta watch out for is managers that think that their role is to seek or what is the word? Managers who think that their job is to root out weakness in the organization, especially in a tech job. Because in a tech job, like, you know, you want to have like a variety of people that think different ways. You want people that are really good at system 2 thinking, like good logical thinking. Those are going to be weird people. Some of those people are going to be ADHD or autistic, and you're going to get people like that. And the person that thinks that their job is to root out weakness is going to be like is a person that's kind of like super neurotypical. And they will just like if you say something that's not quite what they expect that they would say, they're immediately like, maybe I should get rid of this guy. They're a C player. Got to get rid of the C players. That's what happens. I think that's what happened. Because we were doing good work. Me and my colleagues were happy with what we were doing. And all of a sudden, I feel like that I got this other manager breathing down my neck and doesn't like anything that I say. And it's like, if you ask a question and they think that it's, you should have known that without having to ask, or, then you look bad. And all of these sorts of, so now all of a sudden you're like constantly like tiptoeing around and like stepping on glass because you're concerned about what everybody's perceptions are going to be. And then it's like you have to go and get reviews, and that's like a problem because one, if the reviews, they put too many comments on it, and that might make you look bad. But then also they might like drag their feet and not do the review when they should, and then you look bad because your tasks don't get deployed and everything as quickly, and you need successes to show that you're getting something done, right? Other people sandbag you because they're not on your team, they don't like you, or whatever the deal is, right? But those are the sorts of things, and so that was kind of what I saw. So like, if I had interviewed for like the team that I got moved over to, based on the interview, I probably would have declined, because I would seen that. I would have been like, this guy is not somebody that I think is, who are the best managers, like direct managers. So there's different levels of management, right? But like the direct managers are the ones that are really good at keeping track of what everybody's doing and like being PR for the team. Basically, like, here's what my team did. Here's how it can help you. They're like a marketing team for your team. Those are the best managers. Those are the ones that will get you the furthest. And they understand that what I do is I help everybody else perform their best, and then I help everybody outside the team see how great we are. Right? My value as manager of the team is that I make everybody else on my team more valuable because I do the promotion for them. Those are the best managers, right? I look for that when I look for jobs, right? Guy that I got hired under had that. Guys that I got moved under did not have that. Maybe they knew you were looking, maybe. But would they really like, oh, they know that you're looking, let's fire him first and not give him a severance? That's awfully low. So, I mean, I guess the thing is that it was a bad experience. It was just a bad experience overall. What can I say? And then, you know, I ended up working really, really hard there too, because they were constantly having problems. There was this one time where we were basically like on call for every day for like 2 weeks, like in a Zoom meeting for a priority issue, like the same priority issue that went over 2 weeks. Ugh. But then eventually my team figured out what was going on later and fixed it, and nobody remembered it. From my point of view, a company bites its bullet when that happens. Imagine being a low-end worker, seeing a high-end get fired fast. Now I'm worthless to them. Emotions, yeah. I can only imagine what they would be, you know, I'm sure that they might say, oh, well, Seth broke the rules. This is what happens when you break the rules. Well, guys, a notification with the person's name popped up on the stream for a brief moment. It's not really a huge deal, but it shouldn't happen. I fixed it. It will never happen again, but it's not a huge deal. And they fired me without severance. So, like, you know, like if we're going to have a recession, you're in the car industry, you're going to get hit hard. The car and tech, that's a double whammy. Like, if we went into a recession. So just think about that. If there's a recession, am I really safe here? Because, do you remember Udemy? No, I do not. I did not. You are probably talking to an impersonator. So, I will never message you first. If you look at the person, you should see that they have like a mutual servers with you, and that they should be on the futures trading server. If they're not, then they're probably a scammer. Because we have a way to detect and automatically ban those people. I'll show you. See, there's one that happened. Oh, see, they tried to change their name to Speculator S.ETH. It's my little scoring system. It says that's a 97% match. So he gets banned. So then when they message you, you look at it and you see, oh, well, we don't have any mutual servers. Yes, because they've already been banned from my server. Yep. And they set up like their whole profile to look exactly like mine. And it has nothing to do with me. You would think, oh, wow, Seth, you've become a popular target or something. Like, no, these guys, they will do that to every public server. Basically, by being a public server, you become a target, and they will try and impersonate the server admins. I used to think, do they have a list somewhere or something? Because, like, I used to think that it was some sort of a coordinated effort from someone, and it was like, if we can sort out where it's coming from, and maybe we can stop it. But what I've come to learn from talking to people that have decided to try and talk to these scammers a little bit, and when I got the bot, is that these guys come from everywhere. That, like, these will be like legitimate Discord accounts that have been around for years, and then they start doing this to like make money or fulfill some sort of a affiliate thing with another server or something like that. So it's all over the place. Yeah. Well, so they can kind of try and set their name up. So one of the things that they will do is they will use special characters in the name that look exactly like the regular characters but aren't the same. But that is another thing, is when you look at their profile, I have the full name, the real name Speculator Seth, and theirs will be a little bit of a. But I haven't messaged anybody lately. In fact, the only person I've spoken to on Discord this week was Uzi when we told him what happened yesterday's stream. Man, I tell you what, I sure hope that we're not heading for a recession. That we're not already to that point where the labor market is on a downturn and it's going to start resulting in weak economic weakness and you can't stop it. And because I think that the economy is in a really nasty spot. Like, if that were to happen, there would be some real chaos. It would be like a 2008 again, I think, if something like that were to happen. I don't think it would just be like a brief, oh yeah, we all forgot about it quickly. No, it would be like we were all traumatized from it for the rest of our lives. I'm going to be traumatized by this for the rest of my life, probably. It's going to be a problem. Like, you go to another job and, you constantly think that people are out to get you and stuff. What is your opinion on? I hate them. I think that for the most part that they're bucket shops, because when you get funded, then you're not actually trading against the market. You're trading, you're trading sim, and if you make money, they supposedly pay it out, but they aren't putting your orders out to the market, and so they're not covering it, and that's a bucket shop. If you're not going straight to live, I guess Top Step, they have like a second step where you have to basically pass the combine a second time. That's a different thing. But like once you get to the point where like you're where you're like truly funded, your order should be going out to the market. And then even then, just realize that like the way things are set up is basically like most people don't keep those accounts for very long. Prop firms based in the game, yeah. Some of them are, aren't they? Man. I don't know. I feel like that somebody asks a question about that and I go on a rant about, prop firms or funded trader programs every day now. I'm really interested. In fact, I keep saying like, if they want to sponsor a video, I guess I'll take it. Yeah, well, yeah. Especially right now, I kind of need income. But I don't want to. Like, I'd rather just not be involved with them, right? Because then the problem is like, oh, when they go down or they're proven to be doing something shady, and then they're like, oh, but you did sponsored videos for them. There's no way that I could know that, but come on. They are popular. Their advertisement has obviously been on point. Yeah. Yeah. Like the truth is, if I had continued on the path of trying to pass combines and passing combines and promoting combines to people, then those prop firms would probably promote me and the channel would probably be much larger than it is today. And maybe I would have been already able to, focus on YouTube full time. Let's see here. NSF, I forget I'm not quite sure which one that would be, but he says that they rejected your $1,000 payout twice. That's insane, dude. Like, That's the one that really is, I think, crazy, is like you can pass the combine and then you're trading the account, you get to the payout and they refuse to pay it out. If you pass the combine, why don't they just give you a full account? That's what they think about their process. Ooh, why haven't I thought of that before? Because one of the things that I always hear from people is like, well, yeah, but if you're new, having the structure and the rules and everything can really be beneficial. And if you're able to pass the combine, then you're in a pretty good spot. No, because when you pass the combine, they won't give you a full live account. That's what they think of what that program does for you. They're even after you've passed it, they're still not confident in you to give you money. Why is that? Because, sorry, you interrupted my thought process there. I know, I can't even remember what was I had a really bad ADHD moment just there. And that's me on my medication too, so my neurology is probably all manner of screwed up here. One of the things that people always say is like, oh, it's structure and everything like that. And I would say no, like it's not. Like, because they themselves don't believe in the structure that they give you. If they did, they would give you a live account. Apex has banned trading treasuries because they discovered you were getting unrealistic fills in sim mode. It was creating an unfair. Yep. That's always been a thing of that with the Rhythmic and CQG simulators. The fills in the treasuries are unrealistic. Yes. If you put an order in and it moves away from that and then comes back to it, it thinks that you're at the front of the queue when you're really not. So you can just put alligators in everywhere and make 1 ticks. I also requested for the copied orders they didn't provide. Ugh. People getting denied payouts in particular is kind of like, okay, that kind of sounds like a scam to me. Because I'm hearing people say, like, you have to prove to them that, like, you're really trading them and all of these sorts of things, that it's not just like some copy trade thing and all that. Because like somebody could come in and they could have multiple combines going, and one always goes long and one always goes short, and then you go and try and get the payout from the one that worked, right? And yeah, that's why you should be giving them live accounts when they go. You get a live account and then they lose the money, they lose the money. And if they lose the money and too many people are losing money for you to survive as a business from doing that, then there's something wrong with the whole scheme that you've got set up, isn't there? It's a bucket shop. I really think that regulators should come in and take a look at this, and that some funded trader programs should be found to be bucket shops and prosecuted. Man, it's only 7:30, huh? We got a long session ahead of us. You know what it was is I was sulking about jobs and stuff like that. And so then I kind of probably, that's like the thing I probably get hyper focused on, and then time slows down. And for this whole hour, You know, there was that initial little rise in the treasuries, but then they've just been flat, kind of pulling back a little bit. So it's still a quiet market. And it's not like new home sales in 30 minutes is that big of a piece of news. So let's browse around a little bit, see if there's any more. Do you believe these? Which indicators? So, I mean, an indicator is designed to do some calculation on the market. It will do the calculation that it's supposed to do. Isn't that working? What you really mean is, do you believe that this indicator will make a trader profitable? No. There's no such indicator. I have some indicators that I think are pretty darn useful. Like, I really don't see how people trade without them, but I don't think that they're gonna just make you money. I think that those just kind of get you on a level playing field. Like, you get those indicators and you get like a good understanding of the market as a whole. Like, you're informed, you're following the news, you have a news squawk, all of those sorts of things. You try really hard, you'll probably still break even. Like, that just gets you the base, and you know, you still need an edge, and an indicator cannot give you an edge, especially not an indicator that you bought from somebody else, because an edge means an advantage that you have over the rest of the market. If it's available for public purchase, it can't be an edge by very definition, because everybody could have it. Usually laughs. I was about to say that, right? Yeah, like, do they work? Yeah, the indicators, they do what they're supposed to do. That's why, if you go to my website, speculatorseth.com, you can download and install the NinjaTrader indicator package. It's a free trial, so all you do is you install it, and when you install it, it starts a 2-week trial, so you can use it for 2 weeks. And then after that, to continue using it, you have to buy the indicator for $100 with lifetime license, so that you can confirm that they do what you expect and that you find them useful. So you can verify that they work, right? Okay, what's this about the Kamala Harris plan is to create more housing shortages? And the National Low Income Housing Coalition discusses Kamala Harris's plans to lower housing costs. The Harris plan calls for a historic expansion of the low income housing tax credit, the first ever. Yeah, that's just going to increase demand. Okay. I can see where that's going. I don't use any. What is your average profit percentage month? Oh, I don't know what it would be percent. I'm going to say 0. Like, over the long haul, I'd say 0. Of course, we're getting better every year, but like, I'm down this year and I was up the year before, so like, it kind of all averages out 0. But when we're doing well, I think that I make maybe 5 to 10% on a month, right? Like I'm trading like $1,000 account and I can make $100 a month doing that, right? So I'm trading super small, but it's still pretty aggressive because like 5 to 10% in a month is that's really leveraged, right? That's really leveraged. Listen, you haven't figured I'm a little bit different from your average person. Like, if your thinking is I want to make this into a full-time job and I want to be able to make X amount a month and yada yada yada, then don't trade futures. Just like straight up, don't trade futures because you're going to lose money doing it. Okay, like I just lost my job. I'm not sitting here being like, okay, well I can just trade harder and I will be able to make that income. No. It's super hard to be successful as a retail trader. 95% of people lose. You will probably lose. Like I'd say that it takes 2 years minimum to build up enough knowledge about the markets to even stand a chance. Right? And then if you are like one of the best, most informed retail traders, you will still break even most of the time, and every once in a while you'll get lucky and you catch a big winner, and those are the ones that can make it worth it. But you know, there's a lot of luck of the draw involved in that and all of those sorts of things. You share your trade? I could, but I don't really feel like that moment it would help you. It's down. Just Lewis say it's down. I'm down on the year. Let's just say I'm down on the year. There you go. It's a strong downtick on that one. I did kind of see that. The flow into 10-year has kind of like come back down to like cumulative delta lows as well. So, but it's still not like strong. It still kind of seems like a market maker's in charge right now. It kind of seems like market makers in charge right now. There's about 4K iceberg at 21. Okay. I guess I'm just too grumpy today, right? Because normally I would say, look, the stuff that I teach you on the channel, it's empirically backed. That's why you want to look at the stuff on my channel, right? But I didn't even bother. Just like, dude, you're trying to do something that you're not going to be able to do. Just give up now. Can you explain about the spread in futures? Is it high or low? Okay, so when spread can mean multiple different things, but usually when people mention the spread, basically they're talking about the difference between the best bid and the best offer. So in most futures instruments, at least most active futures instruments, the spread is the minimum tick. So like minimum tick in the treasury is 1/64th of a point, which comes out to be like $15.625.
Block sell.
Whoa, what the F was that? Holy cow. That was a massive sell out of nowhere. That well, I'm just gonna do this with a sim order, but I want a piece of that, man. Something's up. Yeah, dude. The first one at 114.20. No, not the first one. The second one at 114.20 was an 8K order. An 8K order. So somebody literally just like had like a 16 to 20K order and just clicked sell and sliced through 3 prices all at once. Yeah. Well, the first one was 8 and then there was 4, and I don't know how, because they're between different prices, I don't know if they were really actually all from the same order, but jeez. That's insane. Why? And it's a sell too. Why would it be a sell? Ugh. It's really concerning. I mean, as always, when we see a large order, that can be something that can kind of like get stuck. Like the chances of, there's a good chance that we will sweep back through that flow there now, right? But that was such an aggressive order that, like, I think it's worth, well, I guess I don't actually think it's worth going for because I didn't take it live. But I'm going to try it on sim and see if it runs for us. That was one of the largest sweeps I've ever seen in treasuries. That happened a couple of weeks ago too. Remember that? And we were kind of like, what the F? Yeah, yeah, exactly. 16 is kind of like, I think, the next sort of stop here. 114, 16 even in Zen. Man. Granted, we just went down to the stop out zones, so. Yeah, 2-year dump delta on that. Yes, it did. Well, all of them really, except for ZB. ZB's not following as hard. And the yield curve flattened up on that as well. Heyo says, I'm glad you liked it. So one of the things is that we haven't had, sometimes I will talk about things on stream that, I'm like, oh, that's actually like really good. I wish I could turn that into a short, but then I don't have the time to edit it. And now we kind of do. Now I do have the time to edit it. I could edit it immediately after this, but I haven't done or said anything that I really thought was that worth making into a YouTube short right now. Now that was kind of worth turning into a YouTube short, but I don't think that anybody on watching YouTube shorts would even understand what that was or why I'd be so excited about it. Like, all right, it did retrace through it. I'm gonna hold it on. I'm gonna hold on to this for the funsies, but that was weird. Like, maybe that was endogenous, but like, what was going on there that would come through from an endogenous behavior? Like, that's nutso. Like even when we've had really, really major market moving news hit, I haven't seen it, do that sort of a thing. It's extremely rare. And again, I didn't get anything. Make sure that I got my sound set up correctly. I didn't hear anything on the news squawk. I don't see anything on Twitter. Yeah, it did come all the way back. Like I said, it creates a hole behind it. So like there is a chance that it gets sucked back up through the hole. But there's also kind of like, why would you have that big of a change there? That is something that could continue. Oh, here's Rasmussen report has a new daily tracker. Yeah, nothing too big. It just kind of looks more like noise. Donald Trump was looking really good, and then it kind of moderated a little bit. It might have just been a fat finger. For sure. Fat finger or a stop. Because sweeping 3 prices in the treasury is pretty... That's not supposed to happen. You know? It was Uzi dumping TLT. Must have been. Japanese yen kind of moved a little bit with it too. It could be a currency thing. Could have been like maybe they said something in Japan and that's why we're not seeing it yet. It's because we don't speak Japanese. And if we were on Japanese Twitter, we would be seeing like these headlines being like, oh, okay. Could also be endogenous, because I would say this has been not the best market today. So to see like the big orders come through like that out of nowhere when it was so quiet before is really something else. That's kind of the sort of thing that would happen more like on a day where it's like, well, we think that there might be some big movers today because people are going to place bets for the Federal Reserve or whatever, you know? We got nothing like that today. Well, as soon as I stop talking about it and relax again, it'll probably be another sweep like that, right? AO decided to take it. Well, I'm sure I helped, right? I'm sure I helped. Give me credit. Give me a little credit here. I'm trying really hard as well. Oh man, somebody found a clip. Somebody found a clip of Donald Trump on The Apprentice of him praising Diddy, saying that he liked Diddy. Did you guys see the thing where Business Insider was reporting that Diddy is currently sharing a cell in New Jersey with Sam Bankman-Fried? When I saw that, I was like, what? Like, can't make this stuff up, right? I can see in the future somebody making a movie about this, right? Where a movie where Diddy and Sam Bankman-Fried are in jail together and shenanigans ensue. It seems like the premise of a comedy movie to me. You gonna play this area to 16? Well, I mean, so with it coming back there, that kind of suggests to me that the flow that we got there did not continue through. That doesn't mean that it won't continue a little bit later and that we could get some trend, but it's probably likely to frustrate us for a little while. They're going to go sideways and mess around with us, make us think that it's going well, and then it's not going well. You know, if there's not flows like that again, then the market maker's just going to mess around with us and make it up, right? Yeah, 2015 was 10 years ago in 3 months. Yeah. 2020 was almost 5 years ago. How was that? How is that the case? Seems like it just happened. We're still recovering. I just can't. Sweet Baby Incorporated employee admits goal is burning the games industry to the ground. I'll do one more. I'll do one more and then, you know, pretend like that the outcome of this trade means so much to me. That way the market maker is almost certain to take this up to the highs and bust the highs. There we go. r/jobs. That's the subreddit I need to go to. You can see how nervous the LP is on the inside 3 to 4 here. Yeah. Like, it's coming back out the other way, so, like, it's kind of swinging back hard, isn't it? We went for the continuation and are getting slaughtered here. In fact, I'm wondering, should that just be the point spot where I give up on it? Because I'm 5 contracts in. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, when we took that one, I kind of took it because it was like, well, something crazy happened. We have to play it somehow, right? But I don't really think that I had an edge there. So you can see why. You can see why. Now we got 5 minutes to news, so this is B-tier news, but like it's the best we got today, so that's worth noting. I'm reading this thread about, you know, what do you say when people ask you, well, why don't you work at that place anymore? And the big thing for me was like, they didn't seem, the reason why I was going to leave anyways is because it didn't seem like they were really that interested in developing their site reliability team. It was kind of like they did it because they're having performance problems and they're told that that's what you need to solve that, but they didn't really understand what that entailed or what was required for that role. And that's why I was kind of planning on leaving anyways. I want to go somewhere that has a more developed SRE team. Big icebergs there, coming here 10 seconds into the news. We are seeing pulling in the level 2. Okay. Change is negative 4.7 versus an expected negative 5.3. So that's slightly hawkish, but not a huge deal. And that's basically all we got today until the auction. By the way, one of the questions I asked was about the auction. I'll make a video, the YouTube short about that one. "35% of workers say they will need over $1 million to retire comfortably." It's only 35%. It's not 100%, because I kind of think that's what you need to retire comfortably. No, well, I can hear the audio from Financial Juice, but you're not supposed to be able to hear it. Can you hear it? I'd need 40 trillion. I suppose if I wanted to retire today, I would probably need more like 5 million. So if anybody wants to give me no, I don't want anybody to give me 5 million. That would ruin all of the fun. What I'm going through right now is super stressful because I basically don't know how I'm going to cover any bills beyond the mortgage right now. But it's fun. Like, there's work to do, challenges to overcome. And that to me is fun. Yes, looking to break 5,800. Yeah, they're right on. Big old orders sitting there, of course. Always see big orders sitting at a big round number like 5,800. Is that pesos? That's funny. It's garlic coins. Oh, okay. Well, so that's like not that much then, huh? I haven't looked at that in a while. Should we go and look at that? That's how we're gonna do it, guys. That's what's gonna save me. Garlic coin. It's time for the great garlic coin run of 2024. Well, it's above a cent, so there's that. But, you know, 1 cent has kind of been like the price floor of this thing for a while. We need another rise like this. If we could get up to $1, I'd be in a good spot, let's say. Got to make sure the generator. Uh-oh, what's happening? Is the power going? Did the power go out on you? Oh my gosh, does they come all the way back down to the bottom of this that fast? Oh geez. Okay. Hurricane. Oh. These only happen once for Chicago. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. But like, if there was a time where Bitcoin could have another big run, I mean, because gold has been taken off. They're above the 60K at least. You know, like, you know, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility. And if it ran again, I think it probably could help Garlic Coin. The supply in Garlic Coin is so low now that yes, but Garlic Coin was 100% pump and dumped at the beginning. The dev team totally like had mined it and lied to everybody, or everybody was lied to essentially about it, and they took everybody out. Yeah, totally happened. Reminds me of what happened to Saya Coin. Oh man, let's pull that one up. Saya Coin was like my best, probably my best winner. I mined it, you know, for like a month, and then made a few $1,000s off of it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a dumpster fire. Jeez. Yeah. See, so in 2018 was when it took off, and I made a ton. Like I was literally down in here and got out up here. And I got out like at the high too, by the way, which was crazy. But then there was this thing, and after this thing, people, because the whole thing was that like you couldn't, there wasn't like an ASIC for it, and they were going to make an ASIC for it or something, but like somebody beat them to it, and it was this huge controversy, and then it kind of died off. But I guess there was a little bit of a run at the end of 2024, so okay. Or maybe, rare element resources should explode higher now. No, maybe not. I was thinking about buying more of this, but now I think that I have to liquidate the whole portfolio, because that's basically my savings. Pull up WBA. Walgreen Boots Alliance? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. That's a terrible looking chart. My goodness. Ugh. Yuck. It's that bad over there at Walgreens, huh? You're buying that? Oh, you. Wait, are they in the Dow? Are they let's see here. That, because if they are in the Dow or the S&P, that would be like a dogs of the Dow candidate, wouldn't it? Although I think that strategy has been underperforming in recent years. It used to be amazing, and now it's kind of underperforming. Dude, what is wrong with that company? Why are they down that much? Is it really that bad? Knocking on the door over there in ES, but not quite going yet. And the treasury, after that big run up, and it's come back down, and it's kind of gone quiet again. So I think that, like, I don't know what the deal was with the really big order that came through, but I think that everything else after that has just been reaction to that. So, yeah, I can't sell the Garlic Coin, so let's hope that Garlic Coin takes off. excessive losses in their retail sector because blue states just let them get robbed. How's your terrible? Probably the worst week of my life, if I'm honest. No, this isn't as bad as when I got divorced. This isn't as bad as when I got divorced, but pretty bad. See, this is where I screwed. This is where the ADHD neurodivergent, because you're supposed to say, "Oh, I'm doing great," no matter what's going on, right? And then I say, "Oh, I'm doing terrible." Then you'll interpret that as, "Oh, he doesn't want to talk to me." Oh, I'm glad to have you here, but I'm having a bad week because we lost my job, so we're stressed out. Whenever I'm asked how I'm doing, I say, "Okay." You shouldn't say that, because neurotypicals interpret that as you don't want to talk to them. How are you doing is not a I'm interested in what has happened, what is the I'm trying to use all the flowery autistic language here. So asking how you're doing isn't, "Hey, I want to know what has happened in your life since we last met." That's not what it means. It means, I don't really have anything to say, but I want to talk to you. So I'm going to ask you how I'm doing, and then based on your response, I'm going to interpret that as how excited you are to talk to me. That's why you watch the girls do it, because the girls are more neurotypical than men, right? Women rely more on intuition, type 1 systems, okay? They see how are you doing, they're always like, "Oh, I'm doing great," and the hug, all of those sorts of things, right? And they could be like having the worst week of their life. Yeah, I lost my job yesterday. I lost my job, no severance, so I am basically flooding the world with resumes and trying to get a new job as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten any responses back in the past 24 hours. Why? Oh, so this is where we're going to practice. Why did you lose your job? Well, it's a company that makes customer relationship management software for car dealerships, and the car dealer industry isn't doing very good right now. And more broadly, I didn't think that they really understood what SRE was about and weren't really willing to commit a whole lot to it. So I'm really interested in finding a company that has a bit more of an established SRE team. That's what I'm... SRE meaning site reliability engineering. That's what I do. Did you know any of the... Not personally, no. Unfortunately. I mean, I can tell you... I wouldn't tell you names, but, I know, like, the names of them. H. Craig. Actually, I think so. Yeah, that kind of sounds familiar. Do not buy cars there. So basically what the software does is it allows the salesperson at the car dealership to text you and email you and have it all be tracked in one place. And then the artificial intelligence will like monitor the tone of your customer and recommend what to say. That's what it did. Don't buy Stellantis. Dude, Stellantis, it's getting crazy over there at Stellantis. I don't know what they're doing, but their cars have all been terrible, haven't they? But you know what? Like it's across the industry, man. People have been saying, okay, well, like cars got overdone, so of course we're going to see a collapse in prices in the car market. Now we might see the car market kind of recover. Well, I think that you will probably see prices recover somewhat, but I think that the car market is probably still in for a rough ride because, like, even Toyota, they updated all of their cars in 2024, and they're having huge problems with them, and like doing like full engine swaps and crazy things like that. So like, you don't want to buy the first iteration of a new generation, but like big black eye, because Toyota was always like the most reliable, and now they're having these problems. It's kind of hurting their reputation. So I kind of think that people will avoid 2024 line cars. So they'll have a very difficult time selling those, even if the car market prices kind of like normalize. Meaning that the car market will probably be rough for a while. You got a 2024, you got a 2024 Mustang, didn't you? Well, I hear the Mustangs are pretty good right now. It's becoming comical at this point. Over brands at least have nicer radios. The brand new Stellantis radios in cars on lots have multiple second lags and horrible interface, for one example. Ooh, jeez. Yeah. No, like, and like all of the, yeah. The thing that's crazy about Stellantis isn't just that like they went in and bought all of these companies and put it all under one roof and are doing poorly, but that like every brand that they bought is doing poorly. It used to be back in the day, you wanted the most powerful truck, you'd get a Dodge. I don't think anybody want to buy a Dodge right now. You have a Koenigsegg? Ooh. Yeah, now it's a Tundra. I agree. Tundra. Or you know what I've heard? Okay, I'm gonna tell you something a little speculative. I don't really know. So if you go and buy one of these and they end up being terrible, you can't blame me, okay? But I hear that because the Toyotas are too expensive, that you go and you get the Nissans. And that the Nissan truck at least is almost as reliable as the Tundra. But Nissan is another one. Nissan is the one where like their CEO is on the run right now from the law, right? So Nissan brand ain't doing very well right now. Ain't no one in this chat got a Koenigsegg. Yeah, I mean, he said that. I'm just gonna believe him, but in the back of my mind, it was like, bullshit. You do not. You do not. Is it gonna break the lows now after we get shaken out? Like, look at this thing. Just kind of slow, steady down. It recovers. Slow, steady down. There is still a large meta order selling on this thing. I think I need to restart. You know what? I still have Slack over here. That's funny. Wait. But yeah, I was restarting the pen. Yeah. If I had a car like that, I would be selling it right now, right? Yeah. That's one of my other problems is I've been thinking like, well, I can sell stuff. I do have some things that I could sell, but I don't think that I would get my money's worth for anything right now. The secondhand market has been rough. People that living that life to afford one of those isn't sitting in this. Yeah, probably not. You're in this stream, you probably screwed up somewhere along the line, right? There's a straight and narrow path towards being the CEO of a company, and none of us are on that path. You wouldn't be doing this if you were on that path. When you're not, well, do you think that there's a CEO of a company lurking around in chat though? Yeah, but no, I think that you still kind of fit in with what I'm thinking, because you took a unconventional path, right? You started your own business. Yeah, you did it yourself, right? The kind of person. Though, well, I mean, maybe you could get a conisig at some point. It could get large enough, couldn't it? Yeah. But again, you probably wouldn't have the time to be in here if you were grown that big, right? I think that I have people here in chat right now that someday will be millionaires. But or you know, like multimillionaires, let's say over 50 million, but by the time they get to that point, they probably won't have the time to visit us regularly anymore. Right? But for the people that are here, it's usually you went through some sort of unconventional route of some sort, right? Because if you were really into trading and you had gone the conventional route, you would have gone to school, and then immediately out of school, you went and worked at Goldman Sachs or Jane Street or Citadel, right? Those people aren't here. Cargill is the other big. Probably Cargill is really the top tier for us for futures trading. Yeah. That's what I need to do, guys, is I need to get a job at Cargill. They hiring anything? Senior cloud platform? I actually might be able to do that, but I don't think I want to move to Atlanta, Georgia. Experience with AWS networking tools, organizations, cloud provider, AWS, Kubernetes, ECS, or Docker. I mean, I can kind of do that. Yeah. I think I could apply if I wanted to live on, do an on-site job in Georgia, then I could totally apply for that. Portfolio manager. Yes, that's what we want. Minnesota. Nothing in Utah. It's not that bad. I'm sure Atlanta, Georgia is okay. But I don't think that moving is in the cards for me right now. I would have to get a really big relocation bonus to move out of Utah. Now I'm tempted to go and just view the jobs. You want to see the stuff that it shows me? This is the one that's always there at the top, and I'm like, no. Senior software engineer, Coinbase. I don't even know if that's a real job. I kind of question if that one's a real job, but I don't think I want to work for Coinbase. I don't know. Maybe I'm just... What? Space? Oh, it's in California. I'm like, what? There's not any jobs in Utah for SpaceX? I wonder if LinkedIn does this thing where, like, it doesn't show you the best jobs and it just kind of trickles. Because it's showing me some here. I shouldn't be looking at this until after the stream, really, but some of these that looked like they've been there for a while, but they weren't shown to me yesterday. It's getting hot in here today. Let's see here. Oh, I missed some of your comments here. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised you weren't more prepared for a job. Last web developer friend does the whole thing where he lives like a pauper, where he earns big and basically saves up tens of thousands of dollars. Well, yeah, but does he have a family and kids? Because that's kind of why. Otherwise, I would probably already have $100,000 saved up, right? If I had never gotten remarried, I would probably have dumped... I think I still would have left Goldman Sachs, but I would have dumped all of that effort and money into real estate and probably be a millionaire real estate mogul at this point and doing whatever I wanted. Unfortunately. So I was basically to the point where I was renting out the rooms and that paid for the house on its own. So like all of that income I could take and put into another property. And then especially after I left Goldman and got the compensation bump, then I definitely would have been able to, would I have been able to save up $100,000? Probably, yeah. But children make it tough. LinkedIn wants me to do a free trial sort of a thing, but like, it's not cheap. It's not cheap after the free trial. Wonder why it's so hot in this room today. Well, good thing none of you can smell me. Tick range today, pretty bad. Well, given the activity that we've seen, it staying in that range is very odd, isn't it? But the treasury market just doesn't seem to be wanting to move today. There's volume, there's large meta order selling and all that sort of stuff, but like, didn't really result in a break of the range for us. Aren't we supposed to get a Kamala Harris economic plan today? So the nightmare that I live now is go to LinkedIn, apply to jobs, right? And when I come into LinkedIn and I look at jobs, there's no way for me to know if the jobs that it's showing me are really the best jobs. right? Or even if they're real. So like I apply to it, I don't hear anything back. I can't know if it was that or if I need to brush, you know, the resume is not, you know, where are the problems? It's just like, so you're just stuck in this abyss where you can't really see what's going on. And you don't know how long you're going to be in this situation for. It's an absolute nightmare. You know, in the past, I've gotten new jobs very quickly, but I'm like totally zoned out browsing here. I'm sorry. Man, you know, the treasury really just like really died down. And the S&P 500 never broke 5,800 either. Huh. Like, this is a little bit odd for a Wednesday. Usually there's like money to be allocated and everything. I mean, I guess it is the end of the month, so maybe they're kind of waiting to make their big plays on Thursday and Friday. But like, jeez. I'm thinking about it and I'm like, wow, I can't believe it's already Wednesday. But I guess it's the beginning Wednesdays, so it's not like Wednesday's already over. I got okay work done yesterday. Made good progress on the book. I think I still have a day or two more left of that, though. And a few jobs to apply to that looked good, but nothing coming back to me. And I worked on the script for the chair. So I pretty much filled my day. Did not feel very motivated to make TikToks, so I only made, TikToks, YouTube Shorts. I only made one YouTube Short, but I should be making the YouTube Shorts after that today, because you got some good questions on there. Make sure if you see the YouTube Shorts, leave a comment on it. That helps the channel out immensely. Anything you guys can do to help. Just go and put my videos all on, like, you know, like, go to the playlist and just play the whole playlist and watch every video. Keep it on repeat for me. The YouTube channel blows up and Winamp finally open sources their code under license, preventing forking and source/binary distribution. Interesting. Dude, this game that I used to play, PlanetSide 2 was a good game back in the day, but then it just kind of went downhill. And like the developers sold it off to a different developer, and everybody's just like, the few people that were left are like really down in the dumps about it and leaving now too. And every post that comes out of that subreddit is just so sad. It's so sad. Life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer it is to the end, the faster it goes. I don't know why I find that funny, but... Dude, that was there's a Chinese rocket trying to pull off the SpaceX thing, but it kind of fails. Kind of fails here at the end. Look at that thing is smoking. Right, and then right here they turn the engine off. Right, boom. That was pretty satisfying. Oh boy. Think the treasuries are going to do anything in this next 5 minutes? I tell you what, this is the range being this tight today, this is a little weird. It's a little weird. I mean, I guess you could have made 10-20 bucks off of it still, but a little weird. Oh, okay, this one's funny. From r/politics, Elon Musk's Twitter coup has harmed the right. They are now simply, quote, too online. Oh, so they're just like the left now? Gotcha. Okay. So. Yeah, I'll say this again and again. Republicans at their core are reactionaries. That's true. That's true. Oh, this is the right code response. Reading about the Winamp thing now. So people are saying, you can go and you can do stuff and write code to it, but only they can benefit. I getcha. Yeah. People are forking it anyways. That's funny. This kind of some kind of sense. So they're pretty upset about that. Spoo's turning down now. I'm gonna give it the full 5 minutes. But then we're gonna end the stream at the normal 9 o'clock time. And I'm gonna try and make content. Make content, yeah. Well, volume is kind of flat in ZN, so they are kind of rising a little bit. So it kind of seems like even that really large meta order that kind of took us off from the highs is probably gone. I don't know, and I don't even really see, like, well, there is an auction today in the 5 years, so I think you could see some movement off of that later. But basically, really nothing's happening today, so kind of interesting. Lots of people came in today. That's great. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming and for helping the stream out. I got it. You know what? Now that I need it, it's just, I guess I'm reminded. I have affiliate links in the video description. So if you end up buying Jigsaw, you use the affiliate link. It helps the channel out. If you get a News Squawk, we have a affiliate link for Financial Juice. I think that News Squawk is an essential tool, and Financial Juice is a very affordable News Squawk. So check that one out. And of course, you know, watch my videos, like, comment on the videos. We'll be trying to be posting more YouTube shorts. So thank you guys very much. In the meantime, stay excellent, team.